Hi, Eileen Veilleux, the fam here. Welcome to a new installment in our mini mental health series. And in this series, we will be going over delusional parasitosis or Ekbom syndrome. But before we begin, let me just remind you to please watch the full video because throughout the video, there'll be 3 key words. When I get to the keyword, I will say keyword, then what that keyword is, and at the end of the video, in the comment section, along with your genuine comment about the video, put in what the 3 keywords are to be eligible for my free merch giveaway when I reach 2,000 subscribers. So, what is Ekbom syndrome or delusional parasitosis? Well, Ekbom syndrome, or also called delusional parasitosis, is a psychiatric disorder characterized by the patient's conviction that he or she is infested with, keyword, parasites. So what causes this unusual syndrome? Well, often there really is an underlying condition causing the itching or crawling, keyword, sensations that lead people to believe they're infested. Allergies, nutrition, stress, nerve conditions, and reactions to many common drugs can all be root causes. So, what causes delusional parasites? Abuse of certain drugs such as cocaine or methamphetamine, or withdrawal after prolonged use of alcohol can also lead to delusional parasitosis as well. So how then do we treat this syndrome? Well, delusions of parasitosis is classically treated with typical keyword antipsychotic agents. The traditional dermatologic choice being pomazide. However, pomazide adverse effects profile and the need for frequent electrocardiograph monitoring make such treatment less practical. So how long does this syndrome last when somebody has it? Well, out of the blue, this most puzzling form, known as primary delusional parasites, usually develops gradually and can last for years. Women are more likely than men to be affected, and the average age of onset is between 57 to 60. Now, there's not a lot of information on here. It is a very rare mental illness. And some of it, as I said, could be brought on from drug use or alcohol withdrawals. And just think of it, if you go by somebody or you have an animal and you find out somebody has lice or an animal has lice, your brain triggers thoughts and you just, but this is totally different. This is an everyday occurrence where these people actually think they have these parasites on them, and they'll sit there and they'll scratch and they'll dig themselves. They'll be all covered in cuts and scabs from scratching so much. But like I said, it's very, very rare, so there's not a lot of information on it yet. That's why it's a really short video this time. But it doesn't matter because it also, we need to be informed about every type of mental illness that's out there. If we can. The more we are educated, the more we're able to understand the people around us, and the more we're able to see with our hearts and not our eyes. Because if we're not educated, we're judging with the eyes. And the eyes are liars a lot of times. As I said in previous videos, somebody could look like Princess Diana on the outside, But on the inside, they could be as ugly as one of these parasites in the picture, which then kills that beauty from the outside. That's why they say beauty is only skin deep. And what they mean by that is it's the personality. The inside is what counts. And the only way you can see the inside is when you see with your heart. Because when you see with your eyes, you judge by what you see. If you see somebody all tatted up, oh, they're a biker or they're a troublemaker just because they have a lot of tattoos. If you see somebody with a lot of body piercings, like the big body piercings in the ears or on the nose, you get a bad thought about them because of that. But go deeper. Pretend you're totally blind and you can't see this. Then you have to judge in here. You have to then use your heart. That's why dogs are more smarter than people sometimes. They don't judge by what they see. They judge by their senses. They can tell. An animal can tell who is an animal lover, who is not. Who is a good person, and normally who is not. We need to be more like that. Have you ever wondered why God created the animals before people? Because animals have that unconditional love and they treat people, they not capable of hatred or jealousy or any of the emotions we have. They are just love. Just like little children. Have you ever seen in the news where a young child unfortunately is abused, but yet when they're taken from their parents, they cry and they whine? It's because they have that unconditional love. They see from the inside. Hatred, jealousy, these are all learned behaviors. We are not born with these behaviors. We learn them from outside. But if we can show people how to truly see from inside out, a lot of that will disappear. We'll be more knowledgeable. Because education is the true way to break the stigma on anything. Whether it's mental illness or a physical illness, when you go to a doctor, why do you think they ask so many questions? Whether it's a mental health doctor or a regular doctor for a physical ailment. Because they can't tell until they ask these questions to know from the inside. You could have a pet and he could look perfectly well on the outside, like nothing is wrong. But yet on the inside, he could be bleeding to death. Or he could be dehydrated. It's the same thing with mental illness. You cannot judge by what you see. You have to judge by the inside. Go by the person's personality. How they treat you. If you do not know that they have a mental illness and they start acting a little bit abnormal in your opinion, and I say your opinion because we don't really know what normal is. Normal can be fine for one person, but somebody else's definition for normal may be something else. But you truly don't know a person until you see from the inside. That's why it's so important to learn to see with your heart and not your eyes. But before I go, I want to let you know, you're important to me. Yes, you out there, you're important. You matter. And I love each and every one of you for who you are. Whether you watch my videos, you don't watch my videos, you comment or you don't comment. Everybody matters. And if they do something to harm you, try to figure out why. Could that be part of their mental illness? Could it just be a personality quirk? Before you judge, ask yourself these questions. Is this part of their mental illness that's causing them to act this way? Is this their true personality? When you can answer them questions honestly and from your heart, then you can take the proper action. But just to judge them from the first time without even considering that they may be having a mental illness, that this is part of their illness, or whatever, is not right. It's wrong. So please always see with your heart and not your eyes. And remember, I love each and every one of you. Until I see you again, bye.